start, I want to thank you all for being here to see my first solo exhibition. It's called Connections and Creations. I want to thank all my professors that have helped me find myself as an artist and allow me to explore the interconnections of nature and humanity. I primarily work in oil paint, so every painting in this gallery is oil besides my piece titled To Earth We Return, which is right over by Grant. This piece was originally not going to be in the show, but as my journey as an artist progressed, I realized this was the first painting of mine where I explored the comparisons between people and nature. During this painting, I was taking a course called Women in Art, where I first learned the ideas of ecofeminism, or the connection between feminism and environmentalism on a physical and political level. During this painting, I became enamored with a concept and belief that it plays a big role in the subjects of my paintings this past year, women and landscape. In all of my paintings, I try to achieve a dreamlike space for viewers to feel they can walk into. I enjoy combining more elaborate landscapes, such as Pond in Maine, which is that one right there, or landscape at Bar Harbor, which is this one right near me, where I look at my own photo references and invent mark and color to bring the image to life. These paintings inspired me to further my exploration in invented landscapes, which can also be seen behind everyone on Trees Whisker on the left and Wind in the Leaves on the right. These paintings are the first landscapes I've created without a photo reference and allowed me to develop my own style. A few artists that helped this style emerge include Vincent van Gogh, obviously, Peter Doig, Jeff Bourgeois, and Kuno Amier, and many more landscape and portrait painters. As you can see in my self-portrait in the studio, behind there, that's my poster, and Melissa to my right. I also enjoy playing with vibrant colors within skin tones and believe a lot of contours and shadows within the body can be compared to that of a landscape. This leads me to my title for my show, Connections and Creations. In today's world and responsibilities, it's hard to connect with nature, but I believe it is in our human nature to connect with both people and with the wilderness in which we came. A great example of this was a moment I captured in landscape class that some of my peers were sitting on a dock overlooking the Susquehanna, as you can see on that one to the right. I also believe you can find beauty in the mundane, which is what inspired me to paint Tree on Exeter, which is behind me. As I was stopped at a light on this unbelievably industrialized highway called Exeter, I looked out the window to my left and saw the most prosperous tree casting a shadow on somebody's shed, and I took a picture of it, and it became part of my show. I will conclude my talk by discussing my favorite work, Evergreen and Deciduous Tree, that big one in the middle there. I really connected with this painting in both its location and meaning that formed during the creating process. I thought the duality between the big evergreen and the deciduous tree is really interesting, and it made me ponder how there is life and death and how nature decays and regrows. Again, I want to thank you all for coming to my show. I want to thank my friends and family for the continued support, and my peers and professors for pushing me to become the artist I am today. I will now open the floor up to any questions. Thank you. Yay!
Yay!
Who posed for that one?
A model that frequents Millersville.
It was a person?
Yes.
Okay, do you know if it was your imagination, or do you have someone in mind?
No, we had someone right there. It was a 3-day session, 2.5 hours, and she took a break. We took a break every like 30 minutes, but it was a 3-day process. It was very long.
Yeah, it looks
she
like
did a great
skin tones
job.
would be hard.
Yeah, it took a long time,
Yeah.
but she did great.
That one is my favorite by far. Is that for sale?
Not yet. But
Not yet.
Yeah, I want the two on the ends over here.
I liked the color you did with like the trees. Is there a specific reason why you did that, or you just like rocked the color? As I progressed got a feel for my palette as an artist. I feel like every artist has their own like color palette that they use, because like we all use from the tube, but then it's like what we mix that kind of makes it our own. So as I progressed through painting, I found that like I like to use a lot of naturalistic colors, but then I like to like touch in a little bit of inventive color to kind of bring landscape to life. So it's a good question. Any other
Sarah,
questions?
was there a technique you used for that one that makes it look like a watercolor? The one that from the dock on the Susquehanna?
So I was on the site for that one, and I really thinned down my oil paint. I remember not having a lot of oil paint at the time that I painted that, so I really thinned it down and blended a lot of the colors together to kind of give it that like watercolor.
Yeah, it
feeling.
resembles, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Why did you decide to see us and not another landscape? Because there was a lot of space on that day.
There was a lot. I like really walked around the site, and I saw you all on the dock, and I just thought it was like so pretty, and it would work so well with like the idea that like people and nature kind of like intertwined. It just like felt like a really wholesome moment seeing you guys all on the dock, like in the water. So it was a really fun thing. Yes.
Now that you've taken a landscape painting class and you've explored your ideas of like yourself in relation to nature, do you prefer on-site painting or do you like mixing and matching things?
I think I prefer on-site. It definitely depends on the weather, because like as it started getting colder, like it was a lot harder to paint outside. But I think at least like the first day of the painting, there's like such a benefit in like the proportion and in like the naturalistic environment to be painting like in person. So I think I definitely prefer that. Any other questions? Okay, that concludes my talk.
Not so fast.
The one behind you.
Uh-huh.
I'm confused a little bit about, like, you were driving, but yet you have an interior. Is that a composite? What was your solution to bring the interior versus from a car?
Yes, I wanted like the audience to feel like they were looking out at something. I didn't want it to feel like someone was in their car driving by. I wanted it to feel like a very intimate moment, like somewhere maybe someone's been before. So I combined the outside of the image I took when I was stopped at the light. I wasn't driving. And the inside of my barn, because I really like that like dark wood texture, and I think it contrasted really well, and I think it aids in the audience to be able to like put them in that space more.
All right, I have another question about, you've been in a lot of painting classes and you've made a lot of really successful paintings that I think would be able to be in a show. But you don't have a lot of those present, so I think it's just useful more for like your peers and people that will soon be having a BFA show. How did you choose to omit things that were still really strong paintings?
I took them all and I laid them all out on the floor, and I thought of my title first and what emotions I wanted to convey for the audience for the show. And I kind of just like weeded it out based on that. I think like the palettes of these really work well together. I wanted like a good mix of portraits and figures and also landscapes. So I kind of just laid them all out and really like had to narrow them down to what I wanted the purpose of my show to be.
I was curious about that.
Any other questions?
Yay.
I just want to announce we have 11 BFA shows this semester. That's a lot of BFA shows. So there's a turnover here. Every 9 days there's another show. So please pay attention to the posters you see and come up and support our graduating artists. And the next one is Riley Grant and Rain, and then I forget the list, but it goes and goes and goes. So there's a lot happening out here this semester. Thanks for going first.
All right. Woo.